What's up YouTube, Saf here on Super Saf TV, and in this video I'm going to be comparing the specs of the Samsung Galaxy S3 to the Samsung Galaxy S5. So the S3 was released roughly about 2 years ago, and it was hugely popular and really changed things for Samsung and made the Galaxy brand very popular. And seeing how most people are on 2-year contracts, there's still a lot of people out there with the Samsung Galaxy S3 who no doubt will be considering to upgrade to the Samsung Galaxy S5. But is there enough here to upgrade? What's new? What's different? Well, do hit that thumbs up button and let's find out in this head-to-head spec comparison. So let's start off with the size. The Samsung Galaxy S5 is actually a little bit bigger than the S3. 5.4mm in terms of height, 1.9mm in terms of width, but it's actually a little bit thinner, 0.5mm thinner compared to the Samsung Galaxy S3. So it is slightly larger, but that's because you do have a larger screen. You've got a 5.1 inch screen versus the 4.8 inch screen on the Samsung Galaxy S3. So you do have an update here in terms of the screen, and there's also an update in terms of the resolution. You've got a 720p screen on the Samsung Galaxy S3, 1280 by 720, which gives you a PPI of roughly about 306. The Samsung Galaxy S5 has a full HD 1080p display, so 1920 by 1080, works out to roughly about 432 PPI. So you do have a higher pixel density on the S5, and because it's 1080p versus 720p, 1080p videos pixel for pixel will be looking that much better on the Samsung Galaxy S5. You've also got an adaptive display on the Samsung Galaxy S5, which is going to better sense your environment and change the settings. Based on that, you can go really dim, really bright, depending on the scenario that you're in. The Samsung Galaxy S5 weighs a little bit more than the S3 as well, and you've got a different build here as well. The S3, you've got the polycarbonate glossy plastic. Now this hasn't been very popular. It had a similar sort of material on the S4 as well. So with the S5 they've changed this. You've got a perforated back, so it's a soft touch dimple back, which is supposed to be a little bit more grippy and also feel a lot more premium. In terms of the design, there's not a huge deal of difference. You can tell that these are from the same family of devices. A lot of people were hoping for a bit of a design upgrade as well, but this looks very similar to the Samsung Galaxy S4 and the Samsung Galaxy S3. The Samsung Galaxy S5 is also IP67 certified, water and dust resistant, so this is an advantage. So even though you've got a little bit of a larger size as well as a little bit more weight, that does go towards the water resistant feature. Now looking at the internals, there's some big upgrades in the internals of the Samsung Galaxy S5. So the S3, you had a 1.4 GHz quad core processor as well as a 1.5 GHz dual core processor, depending on which market you were from. But the Samsung Galaxy S5 now comes with a quad-core 2.5 GHz processor, an upgraded GPU as well on the Samsung Galaxy S5, and there's also going to be an octa-core version coming out soon. So a big upgrade in terms of the processor and GPU on the Samsung Galaxy S5. You've got 2 GB of RAM on here as well. The Samsung Galaxy S3 just has 1 GB of RAM. There's also a 2 GB version as well, but the international version does have 1 GB of RAM. In terms of the different storage versions available, you've got 16 and 32 on the Samsung Galaxy S5. The S3 did come with 16, 32 and a 64 GB version as well, so you don't have the 64 GB version anymore on the S3, but both do come with expandable storage, micro SD up to 64 GB. Expandable storage is great. Now with the S5, there are some reports saying that you can get up to 128 GB on the S5, but that's not fully confirmed, so we'll have to wait and see for that. In terms of the cameras, once again, you've got a huge upgrade. You've got an 8 megapixel camera on the Samsung Galaxy S3. On the S5, you've got a 16 megapixel camera with a larger sensor as well. So you've got double the amount of resolution on here, and there's lots of new features on here as well. Just to mention a few, you've got fast autofocus. Now this uses phase and contrast detection, which is similar to what you see on a DSLR, to give you very fast focus. So that's 0.3 seconds to focus into your subject, they're saying, which is very fast. You've also got real-time HDR, so instead of taking an image and waiting for it to process, you can actually see the result live on your screen and take images and video in HDR. And there's also other features such as selective focus, which is going to let you blur the background on the images to give you a DSLR type look. In terms of video, we've got some more upgrades here as well. You've got 1080p at 30 frames a second on the Samsung Galaxy S3. On the Samsung Galaxy S5, you've got 4K Ultra HD, so that's 2160p at 30 frames a second. You've also got 1080p at 60 frames a second as well. So a big upgrade here in terms of the video. In terms of the front-facing cameras, the S3 has a 1.9 megapixel front-facing camera capable of filming 720p HD. The Samsung Galaxy S5 has a 2 megapixel front-facing camera capable of filming 1080p HD. So you've got 720 versus 1080 here, so a nice upgrade in terms of the front-facing camera as well. Now the operating system, both of these are running Android, but the S5 is going to come with the latest version of Android, which is KitKat 4.4.2. So you're going to get the latest version out of the box. The Samsung Galaxy S3 is currently on Jelly Bean 4.3. Now whether or not this is going to get the other upgrades, because it is quite an old model, is yet to be seen. So with the S5, because it's a newer model, you are going to be getting more updates. It's got a later version of TouchWiz as well, with new features, a more of a flat look as well, which you've got on the S5 that you don't have on the S3. And touching on some of the additional features that are available on the S5, firstly you've got USB 3 versus USB 2, so faster data transfer speeds as well as faster charging on your computer. You've got an IR blaster on the S5 as well, which is going to let you control your television and other infrared devices. You've also got Wi-Fi MIMO technology on the Samsung Galaxy S5, which is going to give you super fast Wi-Fi speeds. And there's a fingerprint scanner on the home button as well, so if you swipe, you are going to be able to unlock your device and you are going to be able to make purchases and things. They've integrated with PayPal as well, so you are going to be able to make purchases online. With the Play Store, there's not too much details available yet, so we are going to have to see that. There's no integration with the Play Store as yet, as far as we know. There's also a heart rate sensor on the back of the device, so you can measure your heart rate by simply placing your finger on the sensor, which is placed below the camera. And this is going to be used with lots of the other health apps that are available on the Samsung Galaxy S5. Now in terms of batteries, the Samsung Galaxy S3 comes with a 2100 mAh battery. The Samsung Galaxy S5 comes with a 2800 mAh battery. So you've got a big upgrade here in terms of the batteries. Both of these are removable. So even with the water and dust resistance on the Samsung Galaxy S5, you've still got a removable battery, which is great to see. And it's supposed to be 20% better than the Samsung Galaxy S4. So you definitely have an improvement here in terms of the battery. There's also an ultra power saving mode, which is going to switch everything off to black and white and give you the bare minimum just to extend that battery if you are in an emergency situation. Now finally, looking at the price, the Samsung Galaxy S3, because it is now an old handset, you can pick it up for quite cheap, roughly about £240 in the UK or roughly about $300 in the US. This is off contract. The Samsung Galaxy S5, there's no pricing details as yet, but when it does release, you're going to be looking at between £600 to £650 in the UK or between $700 to $750 in the US. Now these are the standard flagship prices which we're basing it on, and the release date is April, so you can expect to get your hands on the Samsung Galaxy S5 in April. So there we have it, the Samsung Galaxy S3 versus the Samsung Galaxy S5. Now is the S5 a worthy upgrade from the S3? Yes, I do think it is. You've got lots of new features on here. You've got water and dust resistance, you've got an upgraded camera, better internals, fingerprint scanner, heart rate monitor. Loads of these things are here on the Samsung Galaxy S5. However, if you are looking for a bit more of a premium build, then you may be a little bit disappointed, but there's lots of other options out there right now. The Sony Xperia Z2 was also announced yesterday, which has a more premium build compared to the Samsung Galaxy S5. And you're also going to get the HTC M8, so that's going to be the second version of the HTC One. Not sure what it's going to be called yet, but that's going to be announced next month. So if you do want to explore different smartphones, there's lots of options here in 2014. What do you think of the Samsung Galaxy S5? Will you be upgrading from the S3 to the S5? Do drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, as always, please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. And why not subscribe to the channel? I've got plenty more content coming up on here. And as soon as we've got the S5 in-house as well, there's going to be lots of hands-on comparisons and reviews. So make sure you are subscribed to see those first. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on Super Saf TV, and I'll see you next time. If you want to see more regular videos like this one, then be sure to hit the subscribe button, which will be below. If you're on a mobile device, it may be somewhere else. If you want to see my previous related video, then hit the link right here. If you want to stay in touch over Facebook, Twitter and Google+, then all of the addresses will be there somewhere, as well as direct links in the description below.